All right, y'all. What's good? We back with some more painting. So yeah, we're gonna try to finish up some finish up some details on the chair and stuff. But yeah, man. I'm gonna try to finish Lord Croak and the Starseer. Try to get some details done on here. So yep, I'm painting some gold right now on the chair. I'm gonna try to finish the outlining edges, and I did some airbrush earlier, so it's looking good. But yep, sit back, enjoy the music. Thank y'all for tuning in. Share the stream if you like it. Hope everybody's doing good out there, man. And yeah, man, thanks for tuning in.
You're so insane. Well, summer's been a bummer, shooting steroids, fighting demons. And Scroopy Nooper still protecting Pluto for a reason. And pizza eating people always gotta stuff their face. Showing zero prejudice, enjoying every race. Yum. Alternate realities, I know we've seen a few. Parents staying single, snuffles in the robot soup. Rick and Morty mutilated, buried in the yard. Logically impossible, like Soren Kierkegaard. She might say it's absurd, word I don't even know. Raising flu awareness every song and every show. So call me MC Haps, I'm a virus-hating rapper. Hoping Morty loves me, he's been looking very dapper. He's Gazorpazorp, Gazorpazorp Field, Gazorpazorp, Gazorpazorp Field, Gazorpazorp, Gazorpazorp Field, Gazorpazorp, Gazorpazorp Field. He's Gazorpazorp, my Gazorpazorp Field, Gazorpazorp, my Gazorpazorp Field, Gazorpazorp, my Gazorpazorp Field, Gazorpazorp, my.
They call me Gazorpazorp Field. I've got an oddly improvisational feel, to be real. From a planet where males grow up to kill. John reads from his paper, but your boy keeps it real. Hit him with a you're a dumb, weak, stupid idiot. Throw a little white guild in for the fun of it. Gazorpazorp feels is a line and I'm crossing it. Unlike ants in my eyes, Johnson, you are feeling it. I'm Gazorpazorp, it's not rude if it's honest. Yo, and honestly, John's a milk toast piece of garbage, and you better prep my enchiladas with the garnish. Best believe, better leave all the cheese that was promised. Each and every weekday, stream to your monitors. Rating so high that it stops the thermometers. Driving my sports car, dodge the photographers. Up next, a new episode of Ball Fondlers.
He's Gazorpazorp, Gazorpazorp Field, Gazorpazorp, Gazorpazorp Field, Gazorpazorp, Gazorpazorp Field, Gazorpazorp, Gazorpazorp Field. He's Gazorpazorp, my Gazorpazorp Field, Gazorpazorp, my Gazorpazorp Field, Gazorpazorp, my Gazorpazorp Field, Gazorpazorp, my. Yay! Where's my enchiladas? Where's my enchiladas? Where's my enchiladas, John? This is not a joke. Where's my enchiladas? Where's my enchiladas? Where's my enchiladas, John? This is not a joke. Where's my enchiladas? Where's my enchiladas? Where's my enchiladas, John? This is not a joke. Where's my enchiladas? Where's my enchiladas? Where's my enchiladas, John? This is not a joke. The zombie T-Rex is back, undead swag with that old school rap. Cause it's Curtis Blow with that Nerdist flow, getting pterodactyl fly on the track. 4 records deep, 5 EPs, 1 mixtape, cause you can't kill me. Poison when I spit it, Komodo dragon, nerdcore royalty, Kimono dragon. Sesquipedalian loquaciousness, no rapper ever born did a rhyme like this. MC Lars with the rhythmic alacrity, oratory skills causing mad catastrophe. The whole crew sick, like Kubrick, got your eyes wide shut for this apocalypse. Let's face it, I'm an awesome rapper, post-punk laptop velociraptor. Never won't dumb it down for the mainstream fan, cause the mainstream fan has lame taste, man. Yeah, I said it. And I'm flying over hurdles, keep it underground like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. See a funny thing happen on my way to the stage. Waylaid by a stegosaurus, snacking on my leg. When I made my escape, it was way too late. Got that T-virus strain all up in my veins, bringing pain like the Necronomicon. Iguanagon loose up at Comic-Con, tearing up your lawn like a Mockledon. Take away your girl like I was Donkey Kong. Jurassic Park, this van in your city every time I rock a show. Cause the fans all bounce when I light up the room with that pyroclastic flow. Yo! No mercy, no surrender. Zombie T-Rex, I'm killing it forever. No mercy, no surrender. Zombie T-Rex, I'm killing it forever. No mercy, no surrender. Zombie T-Rex, I'm killing it forever. make that smart music. That
What's up, cuz? How you doing?
Music that Lars, he came to straight rocket music. That burning down your local hot topic music. That KRS-One on my album music. That of course you know I read up on Malcolm music. That PMA all day music. That guy who gave you K-Flay music. That R.I.P. Pat Wood music. That only wanna do a bit of good music. That got here on my own music. That hey, it's Weird Al on my phone music. That lit hop Edgar Allan Poe music. That show your English teacher how to flow music. That TED Talk read a book music. That look at Scissor Crack on the hook music. Like no mercy, no surrender. Zombie T-Rex, I'm killing it forever. No mercy, no surrender. Zombie T-Rex, I'm killing it forever. No mercy, no surrender. Zombie T-Rex, I'm killing it forever. No mercy, no surrender. Zombie T-Rex, I'm killing it forever.
Our top story tonight, a herd of zombie dinosaurs is loose in San Francisco, causing more damage and destruction than the city has ever seen. We go now live to the Golden Gate Bridge, where a zombie Tyrannosaurus Rex is currently ripping apart the suspension cables and pushing cars into the bay. Coming up after the break, San Francisco has already seen its local coffee markets impacted by these zombie dinosaurs, what these developments mean for your organic Arabica, and then enterprising young people are bringing gentrification to dinosaur caves and dens. We find the city's best apocalyptic food trucks, and finally, an Oxford study finds that white kids are still not hyphy. What can you do to help? We'll cover it after the break.
Why don't you just come on over? Why don't you just stay with me? And it go like, hey. It still feels good. All these years later, it got me screaming like, life is gorgeous and you add to the scenery, but I'm not sure of what you mean to me. I ain't known of you for some time, but it don't take a whole day to recognize sunshine, so I gotta know, yeah, I gotta know. Are you looking for a DD on the honor roll with a lot of dough that's always down to go? Or do you just want someone with common goals? Are you looking for one man or one night? Someone who stays or leaves before the sunlight? This ain't a courtroom, no judgment from me, but the jury's out, I need a testimony. Have you been with a rapper before? If I came to your city, would you see me on tour? Said I had a metaphor, but I think I'm at a 10, so there's something I gotta ask before the night ends. Why don't you just come on over? Why don't you just stay with me? Said I can give you more than everything you need. What's he got that I don't got, girl? Give me just a thing or two. I don't have all the answers, but there's no question what we should do. Are you high on life? Are you down to your luck? Do you wanna make out, baby? Do you wanna maybe lay under the stars and just stare up at affection? The night said that it's young and I'm relaying the message. Feeling good? Down to your luck. Do you wanna make out, baby? Do you wanna maybe lay under the stars and just stare up at affection? Don't think long, these are simple questions like I just really wanna love you, and I just want you here with me tonight. Are you high on life? Are you down to your luck? Do you wanna make out, baby? Do you wanna maybe lay under the stars and just stare up at affection? The night said that it's young and I'm relaying the message. Why don't you just come on over? Why don't you just stay with me? Said I can give you more than everything you need. What's he got that I don't got, girl? Give me just a thing or two. I don't have all the answers, but there's no question what we should do. I don't have all the answers, but there's no question what we should do.
One sound and you fail. Go.
Now the way I be rockin', don't think you got ready. I hog the beat like bebop, bring it hard. Rock steady, underneath the sewers in a New York City. Form a street team with the Blue Committee. Ain't blue, but they green and mean. Ninjas and turtles and pizza machines. Leonardo Warrior honor, there ain't no cheap shots. Keep looking, this dude, he got no weak spots. Shortstop, play it all, leaving the catcher. 1 through third base, he a boss, Dylan Hatcher. Dylan my homie, and he'll keep you on guard. I'll spit some shards like Splinter while I'm splitting these nerdy bars. When I get in story mode, you know I'm kinda mellow. But I keep it nerdcore, cause I'm a genius Donatello. You listen to One Up, and you said he's just a stupid lame. Didn't understand, cause you're a crane, just a stupid brain. The world ain't what it seems. You ain't never seen the world's most fearsome fighting scene. When you're a little bit older, you realize the meaning of being useless as a foot soldier. Yo, my lines are heavy sauce, pizza rhyme, and you know what it is, trip pizza time. You realize eventually come around, that's rotunda. Just go and yell the victory cry, cowabunga.
Oh, you want that old chorus? Guess what? Feelings don't care what you want. Stockman so fly, they called him Go Blue. Rat King so mousy, they should get a room. Just listen to Wingnut, you gotta screw loose. Aliens are the norm in this batch of turtle soup. You got Dan X for that older Gen X. Eastman soup, debate, Blair, art could've stayed. Bebop and rock ain't sure which out the crack. Just pick the one that makes sense, Leo, lead the pack.
Now, yo, cracking so many jokes, I call them funny, but did so much good, I call him J.R. Honeycutt. Ralphie always wanna fight, and Michelangelo, he plays so much, I call that dude DFW Nerd Night. And the good news, well, I have April reported. I destroy these food, they grunts, I hope you guys recorded. I'm behind a mask of dreams, you can't face me, they can tell I don't really give a hockey butt, Casey. In the first verse, I hit you with the pizza rhyme, slip into the past, slippery sloping like I'm spitting slime. Ninja Turtles in time, I'm gonna shell shock this line so hard that it'll silence in my crescendo, megaphone, fine tunes, yellow bone, sewer surfing myself right up to the technodrome. Started from the sewers, now the whole team stepping here, shredded, destroyed, never reappear. The world ain't what it seems, you ain't never seen the world's most fearsome fighting team. When you're a little bit older, you realize the meaning of being useless as a foot soldier. Yo, my lines will have you sauce, pizza rhyme, and you know what it is, trip pizza time. You realize eventually come around, that's rotunda. Just go and yell the victory cry, cowabunga.
Cowabunga with the cowboy breaker, got my dual shredder looking like an MF Vega. But don't hate, cause I'm sagging on that ass. Bow raw move set for the turtle killer smash. Up, down, down, left, right, Konami code 7 lives into the dark turtle night. You got your Tecmadrome stories, nothing as nice as that red-headed shorty. Angel suited with a connection to the boys. They got some toys, show van, show racer. They riding in the criminal flavor. They think they got it bad, they got Triceratops in. Busy destroying world teleports in New York City. Brain flying in, he wants to steal the show. Got Irma scared Splinter doing rat time kung fu. Multicolor foots holding up the track. The populace freaking out, can't drag breaking habits.
Don't need ooze to give him a bruise. Renaissance artists are ass kicking, don't get included in my muse. Let cool have a temper that's worse than Raphael. They say I should keep it inside, but what the shell? That's why my name ring bells like Lord Norinaka. Take it back, ring bells like Hector Salamanca. Breaking Bad, born to be the city's heroes. More cutting edge than what's wielded by Leo. Bite styles like mouses, got nothing in stock, man. Think the backs to fly, get the smarter fam. We'll take them lightly, but that's an easy win to me. Touch who said it best, never lower your eyes to enemies. Keep them hush like secrets at TGRI. Closest thing to perfect, 9.95. Splinter told me if I touch beats, treat it like pizza and eat it. Super shred the mic, so good.
The world ain't what it seems, you ain't never seen the world's most fearsome fighting team. When you're a little bit older, you realize the meaning of being useless as a foot soldier. Yo, my lines will have you sauce, pizza rhyme, and you know what it is, trip pizza time. You realize eventually come around, that's rotunda. Just go and yell the victory cry, cowabunga. chilling by the pool. Take a sip, fam, and it doesn't matter where I sit, man. My toes are always toasty. Lit, fam. Do some free weights in the gym, man. While you lacing up, I'm on the bench already facing up. But my undersole is steady, no slip, fam. While you falling like Alicia Keys, you a trip, man. Get your act right, better shine a light on your facts. That's a backlight, and I rap right with that type of swag that'll smack life into cadavers, you crash type dummies. You know my feet are never frozen. My toes are toasted with my socks and my slides. You know my feet are never frozen. My toes are toasted with my socks and my slides. I got my flash socks on, feeling kinda rad. I'm strolling around Whole Foods looking like a dad. Yeah, I'm on my grind, you know what it's gotta mean. Cold brew next week, picking up my coffee beans. Looking out they side, they eyes, they gotta learn though. I'm basically 50, Disco Inferno. What's that mean? Also, if you worry about me, Yoko, you can stop before you say, oh no. Before your boy swings back, yo. If you get my viewpoints, GoPro. You clean like the rain in Africa, Toto. Black Star gonna be so pro. My tips are always free, pro bono. Translate for your boy Chico. Long story short, this footwear, my cheat code. You know my feet are never frozen. My toes are toasted with my socks and my slides.
Smitty, you stupid, man. It's the truth though. If you paint 5 million eyes on a Zinch model and you don't know how to paint eyes after you do that, you suck. You just suck, all right? You suck at life. If you can't paint that many eyes after you paint that many Zinch eyes, man, you are just a failure at existence. But yeah, gold trim, there's nothing to it, man. It's just patience. And my hands are not very steady tonight because I did some yard work and swimming, so I'm a little on edge. But I'm just trying to get these two heroes done so I can start playing, man. I know, man. I keep seeing good deals with Zinch, but then I'm just like, do I want to paint 5 million eyes? I don't know. Or paint that many horrors, because I'd probably lose my mind. Even though I am losing my mind with skinks. Yeah, me too, man. I'm ready to play some games too. You said places that are open. I think Fairview is open, but the problem is their back room I don't think is full exposure to everybody. But even furthermore, I think they're only allowing like 18 people in the store at one time. So if you go in there, you're not, oh crap, I dropped the model. If you go in there, I don't think they're going to allow more than 18 people, which kind of sucks because if you're trying to play a game or watch other people, you can't even spectate. So, I don't know, man. I love gold. Yeah, the fishing tackle. Yeah, my boy brought some fishing tackle up in there, boy, and he was serious about the wreck face. I ain't mad at you, though, because, ain't nothing wrong with that, man. I mean, you use what you got to use to get by, man. I was using just bases for my chain rasp until I got 50 more of them. So during quarantine, I've painted up 50 more chain rasps, which is good because now I have 80. So I can definitely do Shroud Guard. I could do Chain Guard with 80 guys and whatever heroes I want. So my Night Hunt has upped. And then I got Dread Scythe Harridans coming too for Legions of Grief. So they're -1 to hit. And then they got this Bravery Bomb thing going on that when buffed, they also get Exploding Sixes or something like that where they get 2 hits. So it's good, man. It's real good. It's just one of those things where I got to build a good list for it. And same with Seraphon. I'm pretty much going to be probably playing Thunder Lizard for a while before I switch over to my source list. Yeah, the Dread Side, they call them the scissor bitches. I heard somebody on Reddit was like, you got any of them scissor bitches for sale? I was weak. I was on the floor. That boy said a scissor bitch. But yeah, man, they do some damage, man. If you get 10 or 20 of them bad boys in like a line like where you can fit them all in, and you get them buffed. You get them buffed with like the negative bravery and -2 to hit or something like that. And then the Exploding Sixes, and they're also buffed by the heroes. They can be pretty nasty. They're just as good as Blade Geist, you know what I'm saying, if not better if they're buffed. So yeah, I got a couple of those just so I can, do Legions of Grief, because people keep saying to get out of Night Hunt and do a little bit of Legions of Grief. So I'm going to try some of that since you can have models come back. But it's nothing like Flesh Eater Courts, man. Flesh Eater Courts, like how I played you in Flesh Eaters, everybody complains about that army, but I mean, that's just what they do. I mean, you can't get mad at it. It's just what it is, you know what I'm saying? And now with my ogres, I have Stonehorns now, so the next time I play Flesh Eaters against you, it should be a little bit of better match just because I have more wounds. And you know what I'm saying? When you're playing just ogres with no tanks, it's pretty much like you're just going to get ate up. So, yeah, they slapped that attack twice is ridiculous. But I tell you what, man, just like how I deep strike my hunter and the cats, I just had them attack the wrong targets. I should have had them go into your Terror guys because your Terror guys got down to like 2 health, man. I was like, this is some bullshit. But, you know, it's one of those things, man. It's like I don't know that army very well, and, you know, it's my first time kind of playing ogres too, so I kind of learned some strats and what you should bring in your list and kind of get rid of some things. I had way too many cats too. But yeah, man, that's, you know, you live and you learn. It's all fun in games to me. I don't care if I win or lose. It's more about learning the person's army and learn where I make the mistakes, you know. But what I'm interested to see is how all armies fare against this new 2020 book. And since they're getting rid of all the artifacts, you know what I'm saying? That's going to be the kicker. Because now, even on 40K, everything is objective based. So it's changing the games a little bit. Yeah, and then it's like that for all armies. Like right now, I have Spiderfang I'm working on too. I got a Spiderfang army Gloomspite gets, and I'm working on getting the rest of the battle line for that because I've had the spiders for a while now. But you know, the Gloomspite gets page that I follow, a lot of people are really butthurt because they just said, man, you know, taking away those artifacts and also the endless spells that they can take kind of nerfs their army down a little bit. They don't have as many options, so. Yeah, so everybody's feeling that, man. I mean, Aether Quartz Brooch and all those different things that we use, you know, it even helped Nighthaunt out tremendously. Yes, the Griff Feather Charm, yeah, man, that really sucks. And I can see people going back and just playing games from 2019's book and just saying the hell with 2020 and just playing some 2019 rules if they want to keep the artifacts, you know. But, you know, it's just one of those things, man. You gotta... You know, I guess the 2020 book, we'll see how it fares and play some games and kind of get used to it. I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody is so used to the 2019 book, they can still go back and play some 2019 games and just say it's an unofficial game, you know? But yeah, point increases and point decreases also suck. So everybody's got to reevaluate all their lists for 40K and also for Age of Sigmar, which is, you know, that really sucks. So, you know, I think everybody's feeling it right now. Yeah, all 4 players deciding how they want to play. I feel that, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's exactly why I want to do, like, a narrative campaign. I would love to do a fucking, you know what I'm saying, where you get, like, a 2-on-2 battle going with, like, a army that you may have synergy with and go against another 2 people, you know what I'm saying? And do, like, a narrative battle where there's a story, you know, you're going after a certain artifact or there's some arcane power or magic you're trying to get to in the middle of the board and you guys fight it out to see who can get it. You know, I see a lot of people because they seem to have went the narrative route on the 2020 book. It seems to be a lot more people creating narrative battles because, you know, the 2020 book just has a lot of narrative things incorporated in it, you know, like creating your own character, you know, the hypothesis and all that stuff. So, yeah, it looks like it's going to be a good time, man. I think, you know, there's some fun stuff with 2020 that I'm glad they got rid of, but I also miss a lot of those artifacts. So, we'll see, you know, how everything fares. Now, if they would have got rid of the endless spells, I would have been pissed. Like, endless spells, if they would have got rid of just endless spells, period, because I just bought that kit and started painting it, I would have been mad. But at least... You know, they're nerfing it down, so you can only take 3 spells, which kind of sucks. But, you know, it is kind of unfair when you're bringing, like, I don't know, you're bringing, you know, 7 endless spells. And then, you know, somebody's whole team just gets wrecked because you're bringing all these spells, putting them all over the board. But there goes that freedom of playstyle again, too, though, that I think everyone's going to miss. So, Yeah. I think if it limits 3, it's just it's a herder to some armies. Like, you know, I think Gloomspite and like Skaven and those type of horde armies kind of depend on those spells to kind of get a little bit of, you know, but, you know, I'm looking at people's lists and they're playing 120 to 180 models, you know what I'm saying, in their army, which is just super crazy for like competitive stuff. And they have so many bodies that they can win that way. But they said the spells kind of balanced it out, you know what I'm saying, gave you a little bit more power when you start losing bodies. But yeah, limiting it to 3 makes everybody kind of reevaluate their strategy. So we'll see, man. We'll see what happens. And, you know, hopefully, you know, you get some good battles, because I think it's really cool that there's kind of objectives you got to pick now, which is pretty cool that you know, say, hey, if I kill your group leader or if I kill this one unit, I get, you know, a small victory or something like that. That's pretty cool. So that way, you know, you got to kind of protect your troops and not just send them into battle. So it kind of it changes, you know, how you're looking at the battle, you know. So we'll see, man. I ended up buying the book. I thumbed through it a few times. And 120 Marauders, man, that is killer. And that's what Dan plays. Dan plays Slaves to Darkness, man, and he loves it. Their defensive capabilities are really good, man. I like that army a lot, and those new models look so sick. I really like the Vanguard. The Vanguard is my shit. I mean, I could paint up like 30 of those damn things, like. But yeah, Vanguard looks super sick. All of their horses with armor look super sick. Like, I would build a straight cavalry-based army, you know. It's too crazy. But yeah, man, I'm working on a little bit of Gloomspite. I got some spells coming in a Loon Shrine. Trying to finish up Seraphon. I got a hell of Pterodons and Ripperdactyls to kind of finish, but my Thunderlist list is done. Like, once I finish painting this Starseer and I get done with this Starseer and Lord Croak, I gotta finish that, and then I have like 24 skinks that I gotta like put the gold on, and then I'll be done. Yeah, dude. Yeah, just their shield saves and all that shit is just crazy, you know, to begin with. That's just. But also, you know, their buffs and all the stuff they use. Like, I had a hell of a time playing Dan's army, and I was using Nighthaunt then, but it was funny as hell. You can ask him. He ended up winning that battle for sure. But I did Dolores Guard, and he couldn't kill my Knight of Shrouds, and he was having a hard time killing my Hex Race. They lasted forever because I kept passing off wounds to the Hex Race. And then I would just use the Guardian of Souls to bring them right back. So it was kind of getting on his nerves. But he sent in a chariot right to my Chain Rasp, and I think I had like 30 Chain Rasps. And my Chain Rasp just wiped his whole chariot. Like, he sent them in, they swarmed him, and then goodbye chariot. And that was hella funny. And then he sent his leader in, which hits like a truck, and then he had a couple of his guys surrounding that came in, some of his cavalry, and I got wiped, man. Like, after, you know, the Knight of Shrouds lasted for a little bit, and, you know, passing off wounds, and he was doing a little bit of damage, but what really hurt me was Yeah. Chain Rasps can do some damage, man. If you have 20 or 30 or 40 of them bad boys, I mean, they got 2 attacks per Chain Rasp. And, yeah, they hit like a truck, man. You could wipe somebody out for real. And, yeah, it was him. And he was head on. I have a picture of it, too. I posted on Facebook. But he was head on with my Knight of Shrouds. And, I mean, they were just looking at each other in the face for, like, at least a whole battle round into the next battle round. No one would die because I kept passing off wounds. But, you know, his save is really good, and he's got all these defensive abilities. It was crazy, man. And he was hitting me like a truck, but he was just killing Hex Race, you know? So what happened is how I really lost the game, and Dan said this too, was like I deep struck my what's his name, Reikenor, and I had 20 Blade Geist in the back of the field. And literally, I summoned them in so late that they kept missing their charges and they couldn't get in. And so, because he had cavalry, he just kept like pushing his cavalry to the left, and I was all the way far right. So I couldn't like make any charges, and I also couldn't move close enough to where I could charge. It was just some bullshit. So like by the end of the game, they just got into a little bit of combat and didn't get to kill anybody almost. So it was like I had Reikenor and I had 20 Blade Geists that didn't do anything the entire fucking game. It was ridiculous. I was pissed. Because, man, if the Blade Geist would have got in there with that Reikenor, oh, man, it would have been, like, yeah, he just kept, like, moving to the left. And, you know, Dan knows what he's doing, man. He knows how to play. And the cool thing about him is that he's so humble about it, too. And he's, like, giving me pointers like, bro, just come here and do that, and then you can hit me here. And it was helping me out. But me and him came to the common consensus that we were just like, yeah, I deep struck a unit that didn't do anything the entire game, and it was way too far, and I should have just summoned them in at the beginning, and I could have easily wiped the middle group and potentially won. You know what I'm saying? Because we were all on the same objectives. It was like no one was gaining points because we were all on the objectives and no one was dying, you know? It was insane. I don't know, but if Reikenor would have got in there and he would have did his little Wraith Storm spell that clears out, you know, the little guys, and then I would have had the Blade Guys go in, and, you know, they hit like a truck. So if they get buffed by the Knight of Shrouds or somebody like that, man, they're going to hit like a truck. And that could have wiped out his back line because he was literally, I was deep striking him from behind, and so he had to pick who he was going to fight, either fight, you know, the Knight of Shrouds and all of my Hex Wraiths, or he had to fight that group in the back, but they just couldn't make a charge. It was sad, man. I was just like, this is ridiculous, but yeah, man, you live and you learn. So next time I won't deep strike so far away. I got to move closer, man, because you got to be, Night Hunt is all about that tight bubble where they got to be all around each other. I mean, they literally, they live off of each other's buffs from the heroes. So if you're not around your heroes, you are pretty much dead in the water. But yeah, man, it's a fun game. I like playing Dan. Dan's been telling me he's been wanting to play for some time now. But yeah, everything's just closed down, man. It sucks right now. Because I've been wanting to go to the shop too and play some games. But yeah, I'm not really sure if they're open or not. You know, truthfully, I don't know. You know, I remember them saying on Facebook that something about you can come in the store, but there's only going to be, you know, I don't know, it's like 18 people could come in, but I'm not sure if their back room is done, you know, like if they got the game tables up and running. So, but yeah, man, hopefully, you know, I think it's mainly open to the shoppers that people can just go in and buy models and stuff, but so yeah, I don't know if yeah, I know for a fact they're open for sure, because my homeboy, and I'm sure you know him too, what's his name? Neil, or what's his name, man? I can't remember. The redhead guy. He works in St. Louis, and he transferred because that other store closed. The comic book store closed in St. Louis, and they moved everything to the Fairview Heights store. And yeah, and they, you know, they probably have changed things up, but I know Dan and all of them and Brandon and all of them, they were working hard on getting, you know, Brandon and all of them was working hard on getting those tables done in the back room. So I don't know if they finished all those tables back there, because they were planning on expanding and moving everything to the back where everybody can play, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know if that's all done and ready to go, but from what I hear, you know, there's shoppers that are just going there to get models, and, you know, they do curbside service too as well, and that's all I heard. But I joined this new group that you can look at on Discord if you don't have Discord, and these guys are literally talking right now. It's called Midwest Age of Sigmar, and these guys, I literally just joined this group, and it's some guys all the way stretching from like Fairview Heights all the way down to like, you know, a little past Columbia, Missouri. Like it's like one long chain of guys that just play Warhammer. They do 40K and everything, and there's literally like, you know, 400 or 500 people in here, and they meet up at a shop all the time. Like I think they go to 2 or 3 different shops. And yeah, man, they're always looking for people for games. They actually have a section on their Discord that says, you know, looking for games. You could type in there and meet up with somebody. But yeah, if you have Discord, it's Midwest. Let me see. I can even send you the link. Like if you send me a message on Facebook Messenger, and I can send you the invite link for it. But yeah, they do everything. They do Tabletop Simulator. These guys meet up at the shop. Like literally every Sunday is their game night. They have a mini swap page where they, you know, they're swapping minis on here. And yeah, there's a bunch of different, you know, categories where people post their stuff under the different pages. And I talk to these dudes like every day. They keep me motivated to keep going. So, but yeah, I have that page, and I also follow Cinderfall Gaming. I'm on his Discord too as well, and some cool dudes in there, man. They're pretty dope. he was like, send me that link right now. hold on, let me grab it. Yeah, so it's pretty dope, man. I like it. It's one of those servers where everybody's pretty nice. Let me see here. Okay, I got the link, copied it. Yeah. And then let me get you this other link too for Cinderfall. Cinderfall is like, he's from Australia, but this is the coolest dude, man, you'll ever meet. He's like the coolest. And the crazy thing is, if you know who Doom and Darkness is, he plays ogres. He's got a real popular page. There's a bunch of like YouTubers that do Warhammer stuff, and they're pretty big names. Cinderfall Gaming is friends with all of them because he does tournaments and stuff. And this dude has like, he has literally like 10,000 points of like Stormcast, like crazy shit. And they're all like painted. Yeah, so check him out, Cinderfall Gaming. He's on YouTube. That's my homeboy. I talk to him every day. And all the Australian people, some people from UK. He's got a really like crazy following. Yeah, Cinderfall's cool as hell. And then check out Midwest Age of Sigmar. And those are the guys in our area. And there's a couple other pages I follow, which I'm sure you know. 2+ Tough. You know, this guy that taught me Night Hunt, AOS Coach. There's an Ogre Maw Tribes page I follow. And that's about it. You know what I'm saying? But two main ones I'm always in is Cinderfall and Midwest Sigmar. So... and yeah, all those dudes are cool as hell. But yeah, man, you got to expand out, man, because the hobby is like, the hobby is cool, and you have so many people that play it, and now it's starting to expand more where there's so many people that are getting into it. And, you know, Discord just connects you with like all those people. You know what I'm saying? Like, some of the homies that got me into Warhammer, you know, I don't hang with them as much as I used to. Like, we don't talk anymore, and they're more into Magic and things like that. Shout out to Jason and all them, and everybody, man. Jason and Brandon and all those guys, they're real cool, but they play Magic the Gathering and all that stuff, you know. Yeah, honest Wargamer is the shit too. What's up, y'all? Welcome to the stream, y'all. Tuning in right now and just funneling in. I see y'all creeping in here. What's good? Yeah, but the Honest Wargamer is real dope too, man. Shout out to him. I like 2+ Tough. 2+ Tough is funny as hell. They're doing like a narrative campaign right now with a 2+ Tough and what is that other page? Rerolling Ones. So, which is cool, but yeah, man, it's a lot of really cool wargame people in the community trying to connect with. If you listen to the podcast, what is that? Grimdark Live. I usually play it on here. You probably heard it when you came in here. But those guys from Grimdark Live, I'm personal friends with Hob, who runs that podcast, and he wants to get me on there just to talk about models because he likes what I'm doing. So I told him, I said, let me know, man. You know, I appreciate the help and the love, man. And you know, all this wouldn't be possible with without Matt's help. So shout out to Matt McElrath, man. If y'all need some streaming, y'all go to him. And you know, the Vintage Gamers Club is where I started. So he got all my stuff set up for me. So I appreciate all that. And yeah, man, he's the man. If y'all want to know anything about streaming, that is the guy to go to. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Reddit has a really awesome. You're probably following the same thing I'm following, and I think it's Let me look at this right quick. You know, sorry to be rude, guys. But yeah, so there's it might be the same thing you're talking about. That R mini swap. Yeah, that's what I'm on too. Man, they have some. Let me tell you what, some killer deals on there, boy. I'm talking about you can find anything for sale, boy. You want to start any army, you go there and follow that hashtag, boy. You gonna find all kind of stuff. But you got to be quick though, man. The models be going like this. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I follow a page on Facebook that has a bunch of models that sell some really good deals. You know, I was half tempted to buy an AdMech army like today. Like they're selling hella stuff. He said we're networking chat. Give us. Yeah, man. So yeah, and it's literally like there was an AdMech Adeptus Mechanicus army today that I saw that was real dope. And yeah, they're real shooty, and I just been looking at 40K a little bit, trying to get into it a little bit since there's a new book. But yeah, man, just with all the crap that I'm painting now, I'm still finishing up Night Hunt. I still have Ogres to kind of finish. I got a little bit of Heroes to finish, and that I have my Thunder Lizards list I'm finishing up with Seraphon. And I have a new Keeper of Secrets for my Slaanesh army. And I got some new spells coming for that army too. So yeah, man, it's just so many projects, man. So many projects. I can only work on so many projects at one time. So it's like if I jump into 40K, it's gonna be some more bullshit where, excuse my language, but it's gonna be some more BS where it's like, you know, I'm gonna have to split up another army, and if I get it all painted, that'd be cool. Which I saw an army that was like fully painted, you know, based and everything. But man, that would just be a whole nother game I have to learn, you know what I'm saying? And I still want to kind of master these 4 or 5 armies I got now, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Seeing Slaanesh is dope because I don't know, man. If I play 40K, I got to get some shooting, man, and tanks and all that. Like, I don't know if I can hang with just... But they do have a Slaanesh list that has really good melee that gets up in your face. And I'm sure if you spam a few Keeper of Secrets and stuff like that, you'll be good. You know, if you got 2 or 3 Keeper of Secrets, you can go in there and wreck some face, I'm sure. But, you know, when half of 40K is shooting and all that stuff and, you know, stratagems and all that shit, you know, you got to put some shooting into that. And let me tell you, Slaanesh ain't got no shooting. They got no shooting at all. Yeah, that Chaos Shrine is the biz knees. I love that. Whatever those ogres that are carrying the shrine, that shit is lit, man. I've always been a big fan of Slaves to Darkness. As a matter of fact, I have Slaves to Darkness. But I use my Slaves to Darkness for my Slaanesh army. They're just not painted. So they're kind of just objective campers, you know what I'm saying, for the back line because they got real good defense. But I just never painted them. I put the shields on them like a dumbass, and, you know, I should have left the shields off so I could paint them. You know what I'm saying? And I just didn't do that. So I feel like it's going to be harder to go back and paint them now because the shields ain't coming off, you know. But yeah, man. Gorgon convergence is cool, man. You know what else I keep seeing is these damn corn armies, man. people keep selling these like fully painted Khorne armies, demons and mortals, with like fully painted skull crushers and all kinds of like bloodthirsters and shit. And I'm just like, man, those bloodthirsters hit like a truck, man. Let me tell you what. And those skull crushers are really good too. But, you know, demons are pretty straightforward. They're not really hard to play at all. But then the mortals have more strategy and there's more stuff you can do. But they're just a harder army to play. It's not as straightforward as demons. So I'm just like, you know, should you pull the trigger on that? Nah. So it's just me, you know, how my play style is and how I want to play. It differs from army to army, you know. But I like armies that have a big variety of different stuff. And Khorne does. Khorne has a huge variety of everything. You know, same with Gloomspite. Is more of a horde army, but Seraphon has everything. And that's why I kind of got into it, because if you want to play shooting, you know, you can do a little bit of shooting. If you want to play beasts, you can play beasts. If you want to play spells, you can do spells. Hordes, you can do hordes with a bunch of skinks. And if you want to do sword spam, you can do that with that. But you got flying, you got everything. So it's been a fun army to paint, man. This Thunder Lizards list has kept me really busy during the quarantine stuff. So really, you know, I just want to get this done, and hopefully by the time I finish these chairs, I'll be able to move on to these skinks, because I got a little bit of skinks. I got these skinks sitting right here that you probably can't see, but there's a bunch of little skinks sitting right here that have to be done. There's like, you know, they're all painted. Yes, yeah, Seraphon's awesome, man. It's, you know, I'm glad to see them get a new tome. It's pretty dope. But yeah, I got some skinks to finish to put on the backs of my Stegodons. And then I got 24 skinks. I just have to paint their weapons. And once their weapons are painted, my Thunder Lizards list will be completely done and based. I bought a bunch of like jungle leaves and shit to base them. So once I put all that on there, I'll be ready to go. And then everything else I paint will just be, you know, extra stuff for the different lists I want to play. But I have almost 6,000 points of Seraphon. Like I traded my Nintendo Switch for a bunch of Seraphon. This dude had a really good deal and kind of hooked me up. So, but yeah, I never play it. I never play it. So I was like, well, I can either get some models that I can paint, or, you know, I'm gonna have to trade this bad boy in for something else that I can use, because I don't like shit just sitting around collecting dust if I ain't gonna use it. So, yep, that's pretty much it. I mean, it's been pretty fun to paint them, and it's kept me busy during the quarantine. So, every day I do a little bit more, and I'm getting close, man. Getting close to having this first list, and I'll probably play that until I get real familiar with it, and just keep painting my other armies, like, you know, adding on to my Spider Fang, my Ogres, and my Night Hunt stuff. We'll just keep adding on units to that. But yep, that's my plan anyway. So yeah, I don't know. I have probably all of my Saurus, Knights, and what's up, Mike? What's good, cuz? I have all my Saurus Knights are painted, and then not very good painted from the last guy that gave them to me, but all my Saurus Knights, my Saurus Warriors, they're all painted to like a tabletop standard, but I want to get them kind of better than what they were. So this is the chair I'm working on now. I just kind of finished it with the gold, and I airbrushed the leaves tonight, so that's almost done. I'm probably going to stick that on the base, and then I just got to finish the gold trim on this chair, and then I'm pretty much probably going to call it a night. But once I get these two guys done, I can start. That's good, man. That's good. Yeah, but once I get these done, then I can move on to my Slann, which is... yeah, potentially nursed. I know, man. See, I ain't got a chance to play a game with him, so I'm a little salty. But he's OP as hell, boy. He's don't sleep on Croak. Croak kicks a lot of ass. And that spell, that spell he does is ridiculous. That Comet's Call ain't no joke. So, but yeah, if they nerf it, it is what it is. I mean, he's one of the most powerful casters in the game underneath Nagash. I mean, Nagash can cast 5 spells. He can cast 4. The Slime can cast 4. So, I mean, shit. If they nerf him to the ground, I mean, I don't blame him. Seraphon will still have a lot of tricks up their sleeve. I mean, you still got bound spells and all that stuff, but I don't know, man. Everybody that plays Seraphon, from what I hear, it's a fun battle. It isn't something that gets old, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Everybody's trying to kill that bad boy. They like, target Croak, get him off the field now. But from what I hear, it's not like an army like Bone Reapers. You know what I'm saying? Every person I hear that plays Bone Reapers just gets very upset. They don't like playing Mortek Guard. They don't like fighting, a unit of infantry that has, a 2+, a 2-up save, and just has like all these save after saves, which got nerfed. Essentially with the new book, you can't do save after save anymore. It's pick one or the other. Best caster. Yeah. Yeah, the Lord of Change is dope, man. And that's a sick model, too. It's a real good model. I love that model. I want that model without the army just to paint it, just because it's an amazing army. Or it's an amazing leader. Like, it would be dope just to have that and just use my airbrush and go crazy. But, yeah, man. I got this metal Slime here, which this is the one that I got. It's a little cheesy. This guy gave me this, and he spray painted the entire chair, or painted it this like dark ass gray. So it's like, I'm gonna have to go in and like do some like, I guess, airbrush work or brush work with some lighter gray and kind of go in there and put a wash on it or something and get it lighter. And you could tell he's dropped this shit like 4 or 5 times because all the, this horn up here is completely bent. And it's like, what the hell? So it had to fall off the base a bunch of times, which I really want to fine cast Slime because this one is kind of very heavy, you know what I'm saying? But I can make it work. I've painted other metal models that turned out really good. I'm just going to have to put some work into it. And I'm thinking about stripping this green frog completely and just redoing his color or something to something else. So we'll see about the Slime. He's been sitting on the shelf because Lord Croak is better, and I will be playing him first. But yeah, he's not a part of my list anyway. The Starseer and Croak, and I got my Stegodon with the Skink Chief. That's going to be Stegodon with the Chief on the back. So yeah, once I get into the game, I have 3 Stegodons right now. From what I hear, people's with the Thunder Lizards list, they're using 4 Stegodons, but I'm using 3, and I'm adding more Salamanders, which are completely broken right now. So the Salamanders, I have 9 Salamanders, and one of the top tournament lists uses 12, but because the points increase, now you can't use 12. So I think I have like 6 in my list, and that's still good enough to where people won't get upset if I'm like destroying them with fire, He said bone daddies. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's the truth, man. I mean, I don't know, man. I have yet to. I kind of want to play the Bone Reapers, man, just to see how radical they are, And with everything getting kind of nerfed down, it should be a little bit more tame. But we'll see, man. Everybody's still kind of up in the air. No one's played really almost any games with the new book except for people that are just going to other people's their friends' house, But for the most part, everybody's still fresh on the book, and I still have yet to just read up on the different changes that are going to affect my army and just make a list off of that. Because my list is going off to 2019, but Seraphon has point changes, but the point changes have not came out yet. I think GW is going to release a FAQ page that has all of our changes on it. So when that happens, then I'll be able to add or subtract some of the units from my list. But yeah, I don't know, man. We'll see what happens, man. We will see what happens. But yeah, I'm excited, man. Excited to take some of my armies and stuff, and hopefully they'll be opening back up if we don't get this pandemic #2 happening to us, which I'm hoping anyway. But yeah, with the way things are looking, nobody is really able to tell anything right now. It seems like they're closing things back down. But yeah, man, I think those guys that are on that page that I was telling you about are, I think they like to meet up and just hang out and play games. But, you know, then you're at risk of going to somebody's house. So you got to be careful, man. Yeah, man. Yeah. But it's crazy. It's crazy to me that you have, like, armies that are kind of at the bottom of the barrel. Like Nurgle and Nighthaunt and some of the older armies. And it's crazy to see people still take a list that can win a game versus a top army. You know what I'm saying? I really feel like, you know, we do have a large advantage, you know, like those 3 armies for sure. But it's crazy to see somebody that still has heart and they like love their faction and they can still pull out a victory just because they know the rules very well and they know their counter very well. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to get to that. Like, even if they, you know, come out with another book, because Stormcast Eternals is due for a book, Nighthaunt is due for another book, Nurgle's definitely due for another book, you know, and it's been a couple years now. But I feel like if you know, if you could stick it out, you know, and kind of know your army and you've played a lot of games and you just, you know, yeah, and it's a dice game at the end of the day. If you get some badass rolls. I mean, I've seen Nighthaunt games where, like, Nighthaunt is literally facing Seraphon or someone crazy, and all they need is 3 10+ charges. That's all they need, and they get it. Like, they got lucky. They got 3, if not 4, 10+ charges. And you know what that means. You can fight, you know, in the charge phase, and you also get to fight in the combat phase. Just think 4 of those. That's just like Flesh Eater Courts. You know what I'm saying? Right. Beasts of Chaos need another book. And their bravery is horrible. You know what I'm saying? But just imagine somebody getting some hella good rolls and using their abilities, man. They could mess up any army. Like, it really boils down to, like, how well you're rolling. And some of the more OP armies, if they got good abilities and they roll half-ass, they'll be really good. You know what I'm saying? And it'll be hard to counter them. But it's all about them rolls, man. I've seen Nighthaunt pull out some crazy shit, like, towards the end of the game with, like, Morngul, and, you know, people are like, oh, you're gonna get smashed, but you put a Morngul in the back of the field and it can't die, you know what I'm saying, and it ends up wiping someone's, like, half their army. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. It's really a dice game. And it's actually funny that you mentioned Beast of Chaos, because some of my friends on that page, on Cinderfall's page, like, if you join that Discord, we talk in there every day. And that was Cinderfall's second army, and he has a shit ton of Beast of Chaos. And that dude, he has proxies and everything. I mean, he has so many bulls, it's ridiculous. And he will not change that army for nothing. Like, he said he plays games and he smokes people all the time with it. He loves it. Yeah. I don't know too much about Lumineth. I've looked into the lore a little bit and listened to some people talk about the lore, and I've looked at some of their abilities, mainly the guys that are holding the spears. I've looked at that, and I hear that the guys with the spears have some good abilities, and that's all I pretty much did any research on. But no, I haven't looked into Teclis' spells at all. I'm sure they're ridiculous though, because he's a big part of the lore. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could already see him being retarded. But you said, so explain to me, you said it casts on a 12? Like, that sucks, doesn't it? Like, I mean, what spell casts on a 12? Like, that's crazy. I mean, you think about it. You know, most spells cast on a what? You know, a 4 to like, 7, 8. So yeah. Heh. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look that war scroll up, because I know, I mean, it's Teclis. Teclis, I mean, for everybody that's watching, I mean, that knows anything about Warhammer, Teclis is like the guy. Like, Teclis is like one of those elves that went away for a long time. He actually created the Idoneth Deepkin. So if you don't know anything about the Deepkin, he's like the creator of that army. But yeah, I don't know too much about the lore, man. I've watched a bunch of videos on some of the lore. Like, I know, like, the elves have this secret power, like, where whatever element they get in tune with, they become masters at it. So, like, 2+ Tough was reading some lore on that, and if there's an elf that's in Lumineth that sits by a river and concentrates on water for like a long period of time, they just meditate for a super long time, they eventually become like masters of that river and the water, and they have like water elements they can use, which is pretty sick, man. Like, whatever they seem to do in their elven life is kind of like they master it in some type of way. So the lore of it is really dope. So, I mean, if anybody likes elves, the new army is pretty sick. But I don't know, man. I knew they was going to wait to bring him back. And the fact that he's back now is kind of, it's no shocker. But it's also crazy because they're going to give him the best shit, because it's Teclis, man. It's Teclis, man. Say it for the people in the back. It's Teclis, man. That's like bringing back Jesus Christ, man. So, but yeah, you have some real fanboys out there that love some Teclis, boy. I pretty much I don't really care about none of that for real. I don't care about none of that shit for real. What I care about though is these these giants that are coming out. That's what I care about. I want to see these giants, because automatically the new giants that are coming out, they ally with ogres, and I'm all for that. So the fact that I can put a 300 to 400 point big ass troll in the back of the field and just eat people literally, that's gonna be badass. And all those sculpts that they have for the different models are just beautiful, man. I mean, they're holding all types of they're holding all types of different relics and swinging big hammers and chains and shit. Like, they're crazy. It's kind of like if you've seen the first Harry Potter movie and you see that big ass troll that's in the bathroom when he goes in there to use the bathroom. That's what kind of trolls they are. Well, not trolls, they're giants. Behemoths is what they're. Behemoths. But it'll be cool to see what GW does with those. I think they have a lot of opportunity to get people into ogres and playing the Maw tribes just by getting them on the, getting them out soon. But it seems like they've been working on Teclis and his whole story to bring out Lumineth. So it's interesting, man. I just think, GW needs to kind of like stop messing around with people's armies and bring out, some of the models that need to be replaced. There's a lot of models that are just old that they need to get rid of and give people some real shit so they don't have to go outsource to these other companies like Mears Miniatures and all that to get a good quality model, especially when you're already paying all that money to get the gaming manuals and all that stuff. Just update the model, give us what we want. Or at least they can come out with like a monthly poll and ask people what they want to see in their army. Like ask people what character you want to see in your army. Like what are you missing that you would rather see come back from the old days, But anytime you ask for something like that, it's like you're almost asking way too much, I guess, because they have an agenda of what they want to put out, and that's fair. But even with the Seraphon releasing the book, shit, I thought we was gonna get some new heroes. We didn't get shit. They just brought out the book and was like, all right, y'all, you got these old ass models, you're gonna use them old ass models for the next 20 years and be good. Now on the other end of the spectrum, I heard that some of these models that they have, like the knights and all that stuff, the knights were updated from their old models before, so I guess they feel like they don't have to come out with more models because they've already updated them years back, even though they're shit models compared to Darkland miniature models and things like that. Like they lack a lot of details. But they'll go ahead and put all their steam into like Lumineth and armies like that. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah. Pathfinder is sick, man. And I'm not getting on GW. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could really care less. Like, if I can get the model that I want and I'm satisfied with it, I'm cool. If not, I just enjoy playing the game because I like playing the game. But it's one of those things where it's like when you're literally going to buy a unit that you need and the shit's not in stock because you've been looking for it forever and you can't find it. It's like, damn, y'all don't even have the models that we need in stock to play the damn game. So I gotta outsource to all these like random people that want to sell it for outrageous prices. And it's like, you ain't giving me no alternatives. It's like, what's the point of playing this army where you buff this certain unit that everyone's gonna play, yet you're sold out of it all the time? It's like, what's the point? So yeah, i.e. Salamanders, Acolytes, Skaven, Marauders, everything. Like, the Salamanders and the Razordons are a fucking letdown, man. Like, I don't know if you saw, you probably saw, I'm sure you saw my pictures of the Salamanders I just finished. And I have one Salamander and I have an old Razordon. And I painted them. I did it. I did the work. And they look like shit. They cool. But because the models are so old, it's like you almost have to do edge highlights. You got to do all kinds of crazy shit just to boost them up to make them look half-ass. And it's like, dude, you literally, it would take y'all 5 minutes to make a brand new model of a damn Salamander proxy. That is not hard. I mean, especially after you just made all these big-ass bone grinders and these behemoth models and shit, like fully, full 3D printing crazy shit. Like, you can make a little tiny-ass lizard. Like, how hard is that? It's not hard. I don't understand what's so hard about that. It's like, you're in the business of making models. Like, get off your ass and do it. It's not that hard. And, I get they have stuff they want to do. I mean, that's cool, but man, you got to understand that there's going to be certain fans that want to see certain models come back whenever y'all release a book. And y'all should be ready for that release. When you're ready to release that book, just be like, okay, we got these models that we made. These are the brand new models. Put out a poll to see what kind of models people want. So when the models come out, you ain't got to worry about nobody bitching about the models that came out. If you didn't go and vote, just like voting in the country, if you didn't vote, you ain't getting your model. Sucks to suck. You know, simple as that. It's that easy. But, you know, they want to make everything hard. And so you get all these trolls that get on the damn Warhammer page and they want to talk shit about GW all day because GW doesn't, you know, give the fans what they want. They don't care about listening to the opinions of people. They just put out what they think people gonna want or what's gonna sell. And it's like, bro, you literally can make a gold mine of fucking money, you know. Wait. Are you kidding me right now? Hold on, let me read this again. Let me make sure my glasses on tight for this one. Who? Oh, hell nah. So wait, he works at GW? Oh yeah, I heard about this motherfucker, man. And you know what? I don't know anything about Greg. I don't know nothing about no Gregs. But what I do know is that this name comes up in all kinds of fucking conversations. And I don't know who this guy is whenever they mention him. So it's funny, you're just now saying this because I didn't know who old Greg was until just now. Like, so you mean to tell me he has a vault and he's sitting on piles of old minis and he tells GW they can't make new ones until these are all gone? I mean, we gotta have a discussion about that. Okay, so this is how I feel about that. And GW can take this for whatever they were. I see the point in why you would do that, because okay, who wants to throw away old miniatures? And to his point, old miniatures, you know, have some value. You know what I'm saying? Like, he said, "Now you tell me." So, I mean, I get that. Like, if there is a person actually doing that, you have some people that like the nostalgia of the old models. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, like, wanting to save miniatures that you think somebody would buy. Like, I get that. Like, I mean, yeah. Like, some people like the old models. They like the old world models. But the fact that you won't make any new ones, that's like, what? It's like, why not get both audiences? That doesn't even make any sense. You know, you literally could sell models to the people that want the old fantasy models, you know, and you could sell to the people that want the brand new models, or both. You know? Yes. They're losing tons of money because they're not selling plastic. Exactly. And, you know, my question is, who the hell told y'all to manufacture that much plastic in the first place that you wasn't ever going to use or sell, or you didn't know you was going to sell? But not only that, it's like, why would you keep people from wanting, you know, why would you keep people from getting a new version of what you've already sold? That doesn't make any sense. Especially when you have creative people that are at GW and, you know, they have ideas and shit. You know, they got ideas like, hey man, we could do this. Or when they're changing the lore, you know, they could literally say, hey, we can add this model now that this lore's changed. Or just like the ogres, they brought out hella new ogres. You know, yeah. I mean, they brought out all these new ogre models, you know, with all these old models. And it was cool to see them come out with at least a new hunter or something. But it's like, dude, you can't even find the damn hunter a lot of the times when you're playing ogres. You don't have access to some of these models. And how many people were pissed about the Indominus or whatever that is, Indominus or whatever the hell that name is? That sold out so fast. And you got people mad as hell about that. Like, that can't get their models, boy, they mad. There's people talking all shit on forums, boy. Sending all death threats. And it's like, man, it'd be killing me, because it's like, to me, it's like a tactic almost. It's like, they know which models people are going to want, and they just be making limited quantities and shit. They're like, let's see how mad they going to get with this one. And then we'll come out with some new boxes that we've been holding in the back this whole time. Psych. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. But, you know, shout out to GW. Shout out to GW, yeah. Because without them, we wouldn't have Warhammer, right? We wouldn't have our fun game. But yeah, you know, I mean, you do what you do, man. I can't talk about business practices, you know, for a company that I don't own, but I feel like, man, they missing out on large opportunity, man. So much cool stuff they could be doing. I mean, yeah, I know. Yeah, them scalpers was hot. You know? Super hot. But it's like, what can you do, man? I mean, what you gonna do? Nothing. I don't know, man. It's like the world is burning right in front of our eyes, man, with everything. It isn't even just Warhammer stuff. It's just the world is going to shit right now. And it's hard to stay focused, you know, and do everyday stuff, man. It's like you have to worry about who's open, who's not open, where you gonna eat, what you gonna do. Poor Hammer. Dude, I gotta look at that. So you mean to tell me it's like a group of people that don't have money to buy Games Workshop stuff, and they literally like make models and terrain and shit that isn't GW and just play hella games? If that's what you're talking about, I'm finna get weak as hell. I would love to see that. I was literally just talking to those guys in that Midwest page today while I was swimming at the pool. And that's exactly what they were saying. They were literally like, if I can't come up with something or the money to get something from GW, they like, I just make it. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm not going to go buy nothing. I'm like, you are my savior. Because it be sometimes I be thinking of stuff and I be like, man, do I really need this, you know, the piece of this, whatchamacallit? Do I really need this terrain piece? Like the Seraphon terrain piece, how useless it is and how your opponent can just garrison inside of the terrain piece. They build on how to play. Use his little... Dude, I don't blame him. I don't blame him at all. I'm not even mad because I understand, man. It was this guy at the shop one time. He was actually at the Fairview shop. And you probably seen him a bunch of times because he plays Magic the Gathering. And it's this fat dude that goes up there. Nothing against fat people. You know, I'm fat myself. And but I'm just describing who he was because you probably know who he is. It's this fat dude that went up there. And he was like... He was looking at my models. He was looking at my ogres. And he's like, dude... He was like, your whole army is just so badass, man. He was like, can I take a look? I was like, yeah, go ahead, man. He picked up some models and was looking at them. And he was like, man. He's like, I just want to play this game, but he's like, I just can't afford it, man. I have to take care of my grandpa or something like that that's dying and has cancer. And I don't have time to paint and do all that. And he was telling me about all these issues he's got in his hands. You know what I'm saying? He can't paint. You know what I'm saying? Necron's built out of empty spruce. I know. And, dude, I see people craft some crazy shit with sprues, man. They, like, will literally clip off a piece of plastic and just, like, make a sword out of it. And it looks like the real fucking sword, like, whenever they're done. But anyways, this dude was like, yeah, you know, I would love to play your army, you know, or play an army, period, of AOS, but I just can't afford it. And, literally, he was just like, you know, I've been thinking about just making some miniatures out of nothing and just playing the game, just bringing it up here. Like, he's like, do you think it's viable? Do you think people will let me play? And I'm like, I'm pretty sure if you know the name characters and it looks kind of like what it is, I'm sure no one would care. But I feel you on that. He's just like, it's so expensive. But then what fucked me up about the whole conversation was that he turned around and said that he literally just spent $10,000 on Magic the Gathering cards. I just looked at him and was like, bro, you spent $10,000 on Magic the Gathering cards? He was like, yeah. He's like, I bought this lot off of this guy that had cards. And, you know, he's like, first I spent like $3 or $4 grand with him with just cards and boosters and all that stuff. But he was buying like whole like tournament decks. And he ended up spending 10 grand. And this was like money that he was using, I guess, from like his injuries and stuff, because he doesn't work or anything. But you can ask this dude, literally, like, I'm not lying. This dude was up at the shop. He's a fat guy that like comes up there and he plays Magic. And apparently, I guess he just plays for fun, but he has like all these fucking cards. And I'm like, so you spent 10 grand on Magic the Gathering, but you don't have enough for Warhammer? I was like, you don't have $300 to $400 to buy a fully painted army. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. I just looked at that dude and just shook my head and was like, what you just said, you need to get slapped for. Yeah. And I'm just like, you know, he had something going on. It was hard for me to believe, but then he had like some old dude that was up there with him with like a gray beard, and he was like, yeah, he's got a lot of cards, man. And he was like backing him up and shit, and I'm like, you know, I was like, I don't care if it's true or not. I said, still, if you spent that much on Magic, man, you got a problem. That's a lot of fucking money, man. I mean, I guess, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's a lot of money we spend on the armies and stuff. Like, I get it. I really can't talk because I have 5 armies. You know, I understand. Like, it. You know, the things that you like, if you're interested in something and you like it, you can spend a lot of money on, you know, things that you're into. But god damn, that's like spending $10,000 on Pokemon cards. Like, holy shit. Like, I don't even understand. Like, I don't know, man. At least Warhammer's like a hobby that I can wake up every day, I can paint it, and I can also display what I do. I mean, you don't wake up every day looking at fucking Magic the Gathering cards, you know, like, I don't know. It's just crazy. And then how easy cards get damaged and shit. It's like, I would be scared, you know, somebody steals my fucking deck or something, because some of those decks are really expensive. I mean, it's just crazy. And the thing I don't like about Magic, even though Magic is cool, it's definitely one of those games that's like pay to win. And Warhammer can be. It can be a pay to win. If you get the right list and, you know, you get a crazy ass list, you can win a lot, but you also can lose a lot if you don't know what the hell you're doing. And your dice rolls suck ass. I mean, it just depends. But I don't know. I just can't justify spending that much money on Magic the Gathering. I'm sorry. Especially when you have people that can print cards for almost little to nothing. You know, cheaper than you could, you know, just buying the cards. Like, that's what Brandon did. Shout out to Brandon. He was like printing Magic cards and just playing with his friends. He was like, I ain't spending all that money on them damn cards. But he's like, I love the game, you know? Yeah, I mean, you can sell, you can get your money back for sure. I'm not saying that. You definitely can get your money back. You could sell a deck and easily flip that back. But man, I'm like, I just don't know. I mean, it's a fun game. I ain't gonna knock it. You know, we played what's the game where you have all the it's Magic, but you have, what is it, Commander? We played Commander, and Commander was cool. The getting the strategy of it was confusing the hell out of me a little bit, but it was a fun game. But yeah, Jason and some of my friends are really big on Commander for sure. And I just never got into it as much as I did with Warhammer. I just liked Warhammer a lot better. I thought it was cooler, and I enjoyed the idea of being able to craft your own army and come up with a strategy of beating people, which you do with Magic, but you know, models, you have kind of something to show for, and I just thought that idea was cool. But yeah, man. I mean, I guess to each his own, man. You like what you like, right? But yeah, 10 grand. 10 grand on some cars, boy. That boy was lit. He said, I'm buying every card you got, and ain't nobody stopping me. I do think, however, it's very funny that Magic has a lot of troll decks, and you can make somebody very angry or upset by the deck that you choose to make. Ones that your opponent just can't win because you always shut them down, or it's too much defense, or just crazy stuff. Oh no, I've seen have made a boo-boo, but I don't think that anyone's gonna notice that, so we're just gonna leave it. I've seen to have made a boo-boo. Funny thing about Warhammer too is when you fuck up on a paint job, you literally, if your paint job is half-ass decent, it's like most people aren't going to notice, and you probably don't even notice. Like, you'll come back the next day and you'll still have that mistake there, and you'll just forget about it because it kind of just blends in with what you're doing and you just don't see it. But what I plan on doing with my Seraphon in particular, with a lot of this stuff, is there's a lot of like Aztec symbols on these chairs and stuff. And I don't plan on painting all the full details. Like, if you look on here where you see the red is painted in on some of the Aztec stuff, I plan on using that as like a narrative thing where I'm going to yeah, Commander's fun as hell. But yeah, what I plan on doing with the artifacts on here, all the stuff on here, is whenever I win a battle, I'm gonna go fill in one of the artifacts with the actual color. So I'll just mark how many victories I have whenever I go to win a game. I'll go on the chair, like if I casted a spell and I killed like a crazy unit or something like that, I'll go in and mark it like a battle victory accolade or something like that. So a lot of the canvas is going to be blank until I start playing games, and then I'll start filling it in. So that'll be that. But yep, I'm pretty much good with this one, man. I'm probably gonna call this chair done too. Like, it's pretty good. There's nothing else I really want to do with it, and the Star Sears chair is pretty good, so I'll end up sticking them down on these bases. I got these big ass poles. Yeah, the artifacts is cool. I actually saw somebody did that, and whenever he do Stellar Tempest or he kill somebody, he go fill in like his Stegodon's like headrest, and he will put like, if his Stegodon killed somebody like Nagash or something, he would go fill it in and you know, kind of write it in a book and say like, he killed on this day, he killed Nagash this way with this hit, and this was the artifact that he put on his head, and it was kind of like for narrative campaign stuff. So I'll leave that canvas open, and then it also saves me time painting. So, but yeah, I'll be sticking these to their chairs pretty soon, and then I'm probably gonna dress up these bases really good. I got some new plants and stuff tonight that I'm gonna stick down. So hold that thought 1 second. I'll be right back. Yeah, dude. Yeah, if you do the corpse cart, send it to my phone. I want to see it, because that corpse cart is dope. I actually need to get it. I actually want to get the Coven Throne, too. That's a pretty dope model. Yeah, man. You too, man. Hit me up and join those Discords, man, and come check me out. Have a good night. Yeah, so I went up to Walmart today, and I have some stuff that I ordered. Some like succubus, or not succubus. What do you call those? Those desert thingamajiggers. I can't remember what the hell they're called. But yeah, I got some aquarium plants that I'm gonna use, which these are perfect for Seraphon because they're in the jungle. So all these will be snipped off and they'll be used on the bases. And I have some like realistic looking rocks that I'll put on there. But yeah, I got a couple packs of greenery that I'm gonna put on there. I got some jungle ferns. And then I got this right here, which is pretty cool. I just, for some reason, that green on there is really good. So, you know, you'll be able to see like some cool stuff, like where I'll probably end up snipping off some of this, and I'll put some rocks on the base, but I'll glue this down, you know, put Mr. Starseer on there. Actually, let me paint this real fast. Something with this, the red is coming off of there. I don't know. But yeah, so I'll end up gluing that down. And then I'll probably end up putting some plants kind of hanging up, you know, the top of it. And yeah, it'll look good with the greenery on there, you know, since it'll be a jungle theme. But yeah, all my little guys as well will have some jungle stuff on them too as well. All my little skinks will have grass tufts and some, you know, just stuff with color. I have this jungle fern is actually going to be really dope. Looking forward to that because these are actually perfect for that, and I'll be able to just stick them on the base, and you'll have leaves kind of sticking out on the side, so it'll give that theme. It'll be really cool. I saw somebody actually stole that idea from online. Somebody had a really cool army that was based. So, and then with these, the riders, I still have to paint these. These are kind of like not finished at all. But yeah, it'll be cool to put the jungle fern stuff on the bottom of the base because then it'll kind of hang up the way and it'll look like they're flying through trees, which would be cool. And I got 12 of those, so I got a stupid, crazy deal on that. And the dude kind of just gave them to me like for a stupid, cheap price. He was like, I don't want them. And he totally got out of Seraphon, so I was like, perfect. I'll take all of them. So yeah, we got jungle stuff. We got I'm gonna put the exotic colors like the pink and stuff on probably like some of the heroes. Like it'll be some other stuff. And I got some other stuff too. Hold on. Don't go nowhere. Hold on. Alright, so yeah, and then I got this other stuff from China or Japan or something. Sorry for the bad crinkle. But But yeah, I got these. I got these little succulents is what they're called. These little succulents. I don't know really what to use these for, but these are gonna be badass on these bases. Like, these were like dirt cheap, man. I'm talking like, and you can cut the stem off of these and just like stick them on a base, and they look like natural plants growing there. So yeah, I have these in like all colors, like all sizes, all colors. I have a shit ton. Like, I mean, I think I paid, it was like $6, $5 or $6 for this big ass box of just like this big box, just like full of succulents. And I guess people use these for like Duranimas or something. Like I don't know, they put them on like train yards and stuff like that. But it's pretty dope. Like how many of them they gave me is just like so many of them. I was like, shit. I was like, I got a whole box of this shit. Like, I'll probably never use all this. I'd have to start like another Seraphon army or something. But yeah, this shit's lit, man. I mean, look at that. That literally can go, like, he could sit on top of this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? He could sit on top of that motherfucker. Like, it'll look sick just from the jungle standpoint. And it really captures the theme of Seraphon, because that's what they all about. They in the jungle. Welcome to the jungle. So I have plans with those. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to use them for a lot of different Duranima stuff. Sorry, I got something in my eye. But yeah, it's a bunch of stuff in here. There's purple, there's pink, there's like every color. And I'm just trying to think of what I'm gonna put these on. Like, some of these are so small you can kind of snip them off. And like, so for a small base, like a 25mm base, you could snip one of these off and just have them sitting on the base, you know. But this is like teeny tiny succulents that you can just clip off. I mean, this will go on a bunch of different bases, so you don't have to use grass tufts. But yeah, each different one that they sent to me doesn't have the same theme on it, which was really cool. So some of them look like what do you call those? Like those anteaters plants, which is really cool. So I think on my big Carnosaur models, I'll probably end up putting some of these on my Carnosaur, and they'll look really good. But yeah, you can't beat Walmart aquarium aisle plants. You can't beat them. Not for a couple bucks, you can't. But yeah, I got these bad boys from overseas, and you know, these can be cut up and put on different bases in many different ways. Some of them are really huge, and I don't know what I'd do with them. But if I ever make jungle terrain for my my desk, I could potentially put some of those on there. So yeah, man, it's a lot. It's a lot in here. I still have like a bunch of ideas of what I want to do, but eventually, once I get more of these painted up, like my big beasts, and I'll be able to go in and just add these to the bases. So these will be coming next. So, but yep, that's about it. Excuse me. Woo. Yeah, I have been working on these tirelessly, like crazy, trying to get them done. So I have 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. I have literally 30 more small models to paint details on, and then my list will be done, and I'll be able to get my photographer wife to take some good pictures of a full Thunderless army. And that'll be army number 4 out of 5. And then hopefully once COVID gets done, we'll get to play some games. You know what I'm saying? So, yep, that is it, man. That is it. That is all. I'm probably going to wrap it up for tonight. You know what I'm saying? We did some good work. We got the Star Seer done. We got the chair done. We got Lord Croak's chair done. Lord Croak is done himself. We got the Star Seer is done himself. So we literally can stick those on the base, and what I'll be doing tomorrow is taking these bases and placing sand on these bases on the bottom, adding rocks, adding grass, all that jazz to all 3 bases, and I'll be clipping off some jungle stuff and putting that on the base too as well. And then the heroes will be done for my list. And then all I gotta do, excuse me, get a little tired. Then all I have to do is, paint these 24 skinks, finish their weapons, put some sand and grass on them, and then them bad boys is calling it a day. I'll be able to play a game then. So, yep. If you guys have not checked out my Instagram, go add Circus Flow. It's all one word, lowercase, Circus with a Z, CIRCUZFLOW. That's where all my painting stuff is. If you guys have not checked it out, I'm probably most of y'all have added me up. But if you're not, check me out on Instagram and also Facebook. Everything is Circus 36 or Circus Flow. So check me out on all social media, man. I appreciate y'all tuning in for another day of painting. Had a fun day with the family, went swimming. We kicked it real hard, hung out and got to do some stuff. So, yeah, man. I appreciate y'all coming through and chilling with your boy. But, yeah, as of right now, I'm going to go ahead and head out, man. We'll be doing some more videos to get you guys kind of up to speed with Age of Sigmar and all that stuff. I got some more tutorial videos coming out that I'm going to be making. I'm recording a rap song tomorrow, so get ready to hear that coming sometime, I'd say midweek. It'll be done and fully recorded. So, yeah, shout out to Jay and my boy that's coming over to get on some lyrics and stuff, and we're gonna ride this one out, y'all. So, thank y'all for tuning in, man. It's been a fun night. Thank y'all for tuning in to Circus 36, man. I'll check y'all out some other time, y'all. I'm gonna hit the sack. So, yeah. Peace out.
I'm picking Maple, but we know you're clinging to hope when your chances are freaking zero. Like how Pokemon Go players flock to parks, you're always on my radar, watchers mark. LMAO, when I'm laughing it's hearty, boy, sit yourself down, this ain't Mario Party. Riding waves like an Orcane, bringing more pain, zero wins your name, that's a sure thing. Call me Kissin' May with the puddle splash, no button mash, and I got airtime like a bubble blender, harder than crag, straight absorbing rocks. Can't control me, Yobza, I'm an orthodox. Doubting that I'm good at this game, you must be credulous. Freeze before you say another word. Edalus. When it comes to fighting games like on roadway, better bring your A game, homie, I don't play. Grab your sticks, yeah. Grab your sticks, yeah. Grab your sticks, time for on roadway. When it comes to fighting games like on roadway, better bring your A game, homie, I don't play. Grab your sticks, yeah. Grab your sticks, yeah. Grab your sticks, yeah. On road sticks,
Well, I heard this dude named Schrodinger put cats inside a box. Someone please call PETA. That's quite unorthodox. Is the Heisenberg uncertainty principle all in effect? Zombie cats, both alive and dead, well, what did you expect? When deciphering the binary, the waveform goes away. If you measure probability of specific quantum states, you can't know a priori how an atom might behave. Yet through this observation, the universe is changed. What? I've never seen a cat like that. Schrodinger, I'm sorry, but you might get slapped. Well, you won't get slapped at the very same time. Why can't you make up your mind? Micro to macro, classical to quantum. Superpositions? I think we have a problem. When we check on the cat, is he alive or dead? You say both, but now you're messing with my head. The multiverse has got me down. How can I be in the woods while I'm also downtown? And don't say Central Park, I mean a place where I can catch Pokemon after dark. Two answers at once, that's the haps. Like Kellyanne Conway's alternative facts. Alive while I'm dead, Schrodinger said it. Many possible worlds, you can go ask Hugh Everett. A future state like being asleep while at a Chainsmoker show. Wait, that happens constantly. Hold on, the possibilities are ample. Let me think about it, I can find a new example. Shaggy asked how magnets work. Unpaired electrons, don't feel like a jerk. 7 million records sold, that's a lot, ICP. While juggalos are criticized for lacking PhDs. And how can Twisted keep dissing Violent J when he hooked them up? That's not okay. On FagoLovers.net, I press refresh. A Hot 97, just getting upset. He's like, Tech-9's a boy, but we paved the way. Blase Rose got dropped, I don't know what to say. And by the way, I saw Twisted at Webster Hall. A fight broke out, and the lights went on. You can't Dan Hatchet Men, Jamie and Paul. Why'd you have 7 openers that night after all? So what is a juggalo? I don't know. I left with a really sad feeling that show. Coming home, my girlfriend called me on the phone. She said packages were stolen from the lobby. I'm like, yo, we called the cops and described the box. 1 minute it was there, then 1 minute it was not. I'm like, oh my god, it's like Schrodinger's cat. The cops like, what? I'm like, imagine that. Okay, maybe I think I might be getting off track. In a song about quantum physics and cats. My point is that a deterministic vision might limit your view and be a prison. While the probability that this verse is too long is 100%, so let's finish this song. I've never seen a cat like that. Schrodinger, I'm sorry, but you might get slapped. Well, you won't get slapped at the very same time. Why can't you make up your mind? Micro to macro, classical to quantum. Superpositions? I think we have a problem. When we check on the cat, is he alive or dead? You say both, but now you're messing with my head. I've never seen a cat like that. Schrodinger, I'm sorry, but you might get slapped. Well, you won't get slapped at the very same time. Why can't you make up your mind? Micro to macro, classical to quantum. Superpositions? I think we have a problem. When we check on the cat, is he alive or dead? You say both, but now you're messing with my